listeners.
Hey, listen, this is DuWayne Reed here, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Making Cocktails with DuWayne Reed. Now, in this episode, we are going to be making one of my other favoriteest cocktails, the handshaking classic Margarita. Not a frozen margarita, not a strawberry margarita, not a beerarita, and I completely appreciate everything Jimmy Buffett did with advancing the cause of the margarita. But that frozen concoction that helps you hang on, I don't think so. We're going to be talking about a real old school classic margarita. Now, the history of the margarita is shrouded in mystery. Don't really know where it came from. Now, it was in the 30s, I believe, according to legend and lore. It could have been in Mexico, it could have been in California, and it could have been in Texas. We just don't know. There are so many repudiations of the facts that they just don't know. But regardless of all of the commonalities of the beverage, the margarita, we're going to have some tequila, we're going to have some control or triple sec, and we're going to have some lime or lime juice. I don't have fresh lime, and I apologize for that. Now, the amounts of each varies from place to place, and the idea of whether or not you're going to salt the rim on your glass if you want that. Now, if you like a salty rim, that's fine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you DuWayne Reed's quick, down and dirty way of salting the rim. I don't like to salt the whole rim. I don't like to take a bunch of salt and pour it in a container and waste it just to put a little bit on the rim. Now, let me tell you my secret little way that I'm going to salt this rim. We're going to put just a little bitty dab, a little dab will do you. Just a drop of lime juice right there. We're going to take our glass, right, and we're going to rub it on there. I'm going to use half of the rim of the glass. I don't use the whole rim because I may or may not want something salty in there. Now, after I've done that, I've got it wet. I'm going to dry my hand off, right? And I'm going to take me some salt. Don't tell anybody that I did it like that, because if you're going to have some guests, you're going to have to pour it out into a container and then just dip it in there like for normal. And then I'm going to put me some salt in my hand right there like that. I don't know if you can see that. There's some salt in my hand right there. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to dip the rim of my cup right there. My glass, my drink glass. I'm going to get all the salt out of my hand. And when I don't get out of my hand, we're going to lick it on up. And you can see I have the rim salted. If you're going to salt the rim of your glass, you're going to want to do that first, so to give it an opportunity to sit there and dry in place. And when you put your drink in the glass, it won't go away. So we have a salted rim for a classic margarita drink. Now, the proportions of this drink vary from person to person to place to place. Now, I am going to use a proportional amount of 2 parts tequila. That's a lot of tequila there, and it's almost empty. I don't know if you can see that. Now, most of the ingredients say, or most of the recipes say, use a blanco tequila. I personally like a reposado. Got a little bit of aging to it, a little bit of extra flavor. It doesn't matter, and it won't hurt. And you don't have to use a high-end tequila. Just use something that you like drinking. If you can do a shot of tequila and it doesn't make you throw up, then that's a good enough tequila to use to make a margarita. So we're going to be hiding a lot of the flavors. So we're going to use, let me start off with this. We're going to put some ice in a shaker. We're going to use the big end of the shaker, and we're going to put some ice in there, just like that. We're going to use 2 ounces. This is a 2-ounce jigger measuring cup of tequila. 2 ounces right here. 2 ounces of tequila. We got that puppy filled up. I'm going to dump it on in there. I'm going to set this off to the side. Put a lid on it because we don't want it to spill, because I'm messy. Now, in the original ingredients, it says use 1 ounce of tequila and a dash of control or triple sec. Now, a dash is like 1/8 of a teaspoon, maybe slightly more. I don't know. But what we're going to do with the proportions that we're using, we're going to use a full ounce. So our measurements are going to be 2 tequila, 1 control, and a half or 3/4 of the lime juice. If you've got real fresh squeezed limes, I would squeeze out, if not half a lime, at least enough to make a half an ounce or 3/4 of an ounce, at least. And if you can't do that, you might need to squeeze a little bit more lime, depending on your taste. You might not want that much. All right, we're gonna do 1 ounce. There's 1 ounce right here. Control. Right there. Pour that in our shaker. All right. I'm gonna use half an ounce. I like half an ounce. I'm going to use half an ounce. I got Nelly and Joe's famous Key West lime juice. I like this. I think it's delicious. Now, in my little measuring cup here, it tells me 1 ounce or half an ounce or 1/4 of an ounce. If I flip it over, I can get 3/4 of an ounce or a third of an ounce. I've got all of the measurements already in my little measuring device right here. And I'm going to put half an ounce. I'm going to look right there, and I'm going to put half an ounce. Where is it at? Half an ounce of lime juice in the shaker right there. All right. So we got that done. Put the lid back on. You know why? All right. I'm going to cap it off. Now you can use a two-handed technique or a one-handed technique if you're good enough. I am messy, so I'm going to use 2 hands, and I'm going to shake this up. You shake it up for about 10 to 12 seconds or until this whole thing starts frosting over. So we're going to shake it on it. And I don't know if you've seen any other episodes where I did some concocting and I made some other cocktails, and I said I'm going to shake it up so my little bit of fingers get cold and they can't hold on to the container anymore. So the outside of the container starts to freeze. So I'm going to shake it up really, really good. And so I've got to shake it up, and I think that's good enough for me. And you can see on the outside where they're starting to freeze, a lightly amount of frostification going on right there on it. All right, so we're going to pop that off. It's nice and cold. We get out a strainer, pop it on, and then we are going to pour out our shaken up margarita into our glass. Ooh, look at that. Now, it's not green like you see in the bars and the restaurants where all the teeny boppers go, all the frat boys and the sorority goers, and they go and they have their frozen margaritas and they put all kinds of crazy chemicals in it and just mess it all the way up. But there you have it. Now it's nice and it's simple. You don't have to salt the rim if you don't want to. But we've just got 3 ingredients. We got tequila, we got Cointreau, and we got lime juice. Now it makes just a delicious drink, and you can see how much it went in this rock glass right there. And it's got the salted rim. If you want the salted rim, I can just smell this right now. Yeah, it smells delicious. I like me a good margarita. It's right on up there with some of my favorite cocktails. I like it handshaken, and I like natural ingredients, and I don't like mixes. Like I've told you before, I'm going to tell you again, I'm going to say it over and over and over. Now that was simple. That was easy peasy, and it's going to be delicious. Now let's taste that baby right there, right now. That's nice. That's nice. You can adjust the control to make it a little more tart or a little more sweet, or you can increase the lime juice. You can take away or add to any way you want to, so you find out what your taste buds really like. But you saw that. It's simple and it's really, really good. If you go to a high-end bar and you order a classic margarita, this is what you're going to get. And it'll be wonderful, and you will love it. And I highly recommend it. You should try it by the recommendations of DuWayne Reed. Thank you very much, and I'm out.
Reed Brothers.